I am going to hand you this document. And what you see up on the screen, I need you to fill out using pages 51 and 52 in your journal. You need to find all of these properties and fill in like the A equals B, B equals C, A plus B, blah, 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 in just the part that is up here on the board. Go ahead. All right. For the next week and a half, we are going to be focusing on writing proofs. And we're going to start with something that you know how to do. You all know how to solve an algebraic equation. So today and tomorrow, we are going to focus on writing proofs about solving algebraic equations. Okay? So this is what's going to happen. We are going to write what's called a 2-column proof. Okay? So 2 columns. On the left side, we're going to have statements. And on the right side, we're going to put our reasons. So basically, on the left side, we're going to have steps. This happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. Okay? On the right side, we're going to justify each step. Why are we allowed to say that? Okay? So we're going to take something that we know how to do, algebra, and we're just going to write it up justifying each step. We can do this because of the transitive property. We can do this because of the division property. Okay. Now, when we talk about reasons, properties are what we're going to focus on right now because we're going to do the algebra. But when we get into our geometric proofs on Wednesday, Thursday, and then next Monday, we are going to also use definitions, postulates, theorems. Okay. So here's an example of a proof. Okay. You are always going to be given something, and I'm going to ask you to prove something. So here is what you're given. 4x minus 1 equals 27. Okay. And we're trying to prove that x equals 7. So let me give you something that's really nice. Your very first step is always the given. Your very last step is what you're trying to prove. You're trying to go from here to here. Okay. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to write what the given was, and your reason is given. Then you're going to go to the next step. Now I've already done the next step for you, but I need you to raise your hand and tell me what happened from step 1 to step 2. Emily. Okay, we added 1 to both sides, and we can do that because of the addition property of equality. We can add the same thing to both sides. So I'm just going to write addition property, okay? Okay. Now, what happens from step 2 to step 3? We divided both sides by 4, so the division property. Okay, we start out with what's given, and once we get to what they want us to prove, then we are done with our proof.
So that's what a proof is?
This is a proof.
That's all it is? I thought you had to like write it there. That's my brother.
This is a 2-column proof. We have columns. We have a column of statements and a column of reasons. Go to the back side. What are you confused about, Jonah?
Why is, can you go up a little bit? Nope, back up. Okay. Why is multiplication addition? Isn't that multiplication?
No, you add the 1.
We added 1 to both sides to get to here.
Oh, that's one problem. You're just going down.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at number 2. Number 2, we start out with this equation involving A, and we want to prove that A is negative 18. So our very first step is what we are given And that's our reason. Now, what happens from step 1 to step 2? They subtracted 2 from each side. So our reason is subtraction property. Okay. Yeah. Red, what happens from step 2 to step 3? They multiplied by -6, so multiplication property. I'm going to give you the next 90 seconds to fill in the reasons for proof number 3.
We simplify the statements, like, just put like this.
For like your homework, that's fine. On like a quiz test, I want you to write it out for me. Okay.
I didn't learn this last year since this is algebra, and it's like learning how to do the algebra.
Well, you know how to do the algebra. This is just justifying the algebra. This is really just helping us get set up so we can do the geometry proofs. This is just kind of like our segue. Okay. All right. It sounds like a lot of us are already done. Okay. Thank you, Jonah. Colton, what's our reason for number 2? From 1 to 2, what's our reason? Okay, Jonah, from 2 to 3.
Well, I originally put division, but now it's subtraction.
You're changing it to subtraction.
No, I saw it.
Okay, and then from 3 to 4, Addie, what is our reason? Division. Okay, so now notice how in number 4, we have to come up with our own steps, which is what I'm going to expect from you on the quiz on Friday. Okay, so don't work ahead of me, please. Please. I know, I'm just asking you not to. Okay, Tyler.
Yes.
We have X's on both sides. We have constants on both sides. I am going to do something on purpose. This is probably not how I would solve the equation, but I'm going to do something on purpose. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6x from both sides. Okay. So we have 7 equals 2x minus 17. Okay. And since I subtracted 6x from both sides, I'm going to say that my reason is the subtraction property. Yes, you write this down. Yeah.
How do I do it either way? First, like,
Yeah.
add 17, matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you wanted to subtract 8x to both sides, that's fine too. Okay. Here's the deal about these proofs is that I might have a proof and you might have a proof. They both might be right, but they might go in a different order or they might do steps a little bit differently from each other, and that's okay. So some of you are really going to like that and some of you are really going to hate that, but you're just going to have to get over it. Okay, Tyler.
Too many like boxes. Yeah, there's one extra.
Well, that's okay. So now I'm going to add 17 to both sides to get 24, right? So addition property. Tyler and Cohen. It's really, I'm not Cohen, Carson. Sorry. Cohen, what do we need to do from 3 to 4? Okay. So we have the division property. Question. Did I end with x equals 12?
Yes.
12 equals X.
Are you
Hmm.
joking?
So I actually don't have too many boxes. X equals 12. The symmetric property, thank you.
Wait, are we gonna like get points taken off?
Yep.
This is
If this is not what you end with, then it's not fully done.
Oh wait, no, that I ended with that.
So the other one's wrong.
But you cannot go from here to here in one step. But because you can only do literally one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Keegan. What? We didn't need to because we ended, oh, like right here? Like number 3's proof or step 3? Number 3's proof, we had x equals -2. So we were fine. Zach, you keep talking while I am.
Wait, this one.
Tyler, that's not helpful. Say what?
If we just like, you know, like, pretend we're at step 3, and so when you write it, couldn't you just write it x equals 12?
You can only do one thing at a time.
But flipping it that hard, you can't.
Flipping it is using a property and you can only use one property at a time.
Flipping property.
So you can't do mental.
Oh, so that's your property set?
Yes.
There should be mental property where you skip steps.
Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. No. And see, and here's the thing about writing proof. I can't read your mind, okay? And so I know it's a superpower that I just wasn't given. All right. So you literally have to write every step every time. We can't skip steps. And when we get into our geometric proofs, there's no, like, you can't skip steps, okay? We're literally going to, it's like, how do you make a peanut butter and jelly? You open the peanut butter. You open the jelly.
Or
You open the bread. You sit, so do you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to tell me exactly what's happening each time. So, here's the deal. You and your elbow partner are going to get 2 pieces of paper. On one of the papers, you're gonna have a proof where all of the statements are there, and you're gonna cut out and match up the reasons. On the other piece of paper, you are going to have to put the statements and the reasons in order. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, is this the cutting tool?
Okay, so since one person up here, and I'll give you your 2.
That's why you have glasses.
No, I'm just giving you 2.
Oh, can I get pink instead?
You're reading your nose. It's like 4. You can't read your nose. I'm not.
Do proof B first. Are you gonna take him?
I'm supposed to get a green one.
No.
Okay. So he-
Do proof B first.
Can I fill up my water bottle?
No, right now.
I'm like really thirsty. Like my throat hurts. Sounds like it's killing. Can I fill up my water bottle?
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Are we put 3 5? Wait, why did we get the same sheet? This page was exactly one. You guys are